Tottenham Arsenal. That was a good game, especially for Arsenal. And if you're an Arsenal fan, you were probably happy. And I read somewhere that the percentage of Arsenal winning the league went up as soon as they won Tottenham. They said like 6%.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It is what it is. I don't think that those things matter. But 5 points from City, and City is putting a lot of pressure. But from that game itself, one thing or two things, I'm saying Gyökeres is, I won't say slowly adapting, because I don't think adapting would be really the word, but I would say Gyökeres is showing his worth.
Yeah.
And Eze played very well. But I have another question though. He hasn't been doing very well the last games. What's the culprit? What prevents Eze to have this kind of form? Is it the manager's tactic? Is it out of position? Because Eze is a natural 10, right?
10, yeah.
Arsenal don't really play with natural 10. Then
Right.
those Arteta have to understand. Hey, there's some players, if they can adapt to the system, just play them how they're supposed to play.
Yeah.
If you want most out of them, right? The rest really played very well. Declan Rice was everywhere, pushing forward, and he's very forward-minded. For me, Odegaard got to sit down.
So, Rice made a couple mistakes, but he is everywhere. He is by far the hardest overall worker in terms of offense and defense.
I think Declan Rice is kind of like Valverde. When I see Valverde, I see Declan Rice.
And when you have somebody that performs all of those tasks consistently, you do take them for granted at certain points.
That's true.
You allow for the one or two mistakes that they do make while doing basically four things at once. As a liability. Now, I don't think that it's that Gyökeres is really finding a stride. I think
you go ahead.
It was an ass whooping, right?
Yeah,
that's basically what it was. And you see the goals that he scored; they were great goals.
Yeah.
One thing that was different, though, he had the space around him.
Who created the space? What created the space?
The shitty defending. A lot of it was the shitty defending.
No, that's true. That's true.
You look at where he was when he got those shots off. Great shots. Yeah. He did get some good cuts inside. Like, I'm not saying they weren't good moves, but you want to talk about people that are like, well, the Premier League doesn't allow you that kind of space. That season long has been true.
Yeah.
He has been a bit more productive in terms of where he's placing himself. But if you look at where the defenders were, who else has really been guarding him that sloppily and allowing that kind of space?
I like how you said guarding.
What? Marking?
Basketball.
You do marking? Okay, whatever. Jesus. It's the only sport in the world that calls it marking.
Hey.
I do like it, but it's guarding. You're guarding him, people. Come on.
No, I see what you're saying, right? I see exactly, because what Tottenham opted for something. They didn't have the new manager bounce effect.
Because they didn't even have the personnel fit. To have an A squad come out and have the new manager bounce.
That's true. They play like 3-5-2 and 5-3-2 block. And the thing about it, since they were playing man-to-mark marking, which was very terrible for them, because then Saka and the other guys slept. They were really deep, so they pull out the defenders. Now you can say, well, that created space. My argument will always be the same, right? No matter how much we think about it, space is created by your team. Depending on how the opponent plays, it could be tight, especially when you have low blocks. People like Everton, it makes it really hard. At the end of the day, if you get a striker and the striker can show you his ability, you as the team manager, which in this case will be Arteta, should see how to implement a tactic that works. Now, yes, whatever the play is, like the new, I call it Pep 3. We don't really say that in football, but in soccer. But in football, if you came from Belichick, they're gonna say that's Belichick 3, right?
Yeah.
So all these guys playing the same system. The difference with them and Pep has always been clear for me, is they haven't really put 2 and 2 together to be effective at that, which is actually forward-minded. Pep don't turn around.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. And Eze is a bit more positive in the final third than Odegaard. Yeah. Now, Odegaard really does well pressing. In the first and middle third, Odegaard's very good. Yeah. Arsenal in general, at the back, very solid. In that middle third, they can move the ball wherever they want. You can see them placing it however they feel like they want to get it at the time. And once they get to the box, you're really just relying on your wingers, but you're not even necessarily allowing them to rifle the ball into the box to create more chances. You're really just kind of revolving it from the top of the key. If we want to talk about other sports references again, the top of the key or bringing it down.
Yeah.
And that's kind of all that you're doing. You're hoping that you can unlock something rather than sometimes you just have to send it in and get somebody on the other end of it and make something happen out of that. Now, Eze does that.
Yeah.
Eze is, he's not as great defensively. He doesn't press as much defensively.
Yeah.
And Odegaard is deceptively good dribbling with the ball.
On the ball, yeah.
Eze is still better. I don't think he's light years better, but he is. He's still more fluid with the ball. But he is a bit more offensive and attacking minded in a forward sense, and I think that's what Gyökeres needs behind him to create another threat. But again, I stand by this. Any Premier League team worth hardly anything still does not give Gyökeres that space. You see even an out-of-form City, an out-of-form Liverpool, a Chelsea in which their back line changes every single week. They're not giving him the space to get those shots off, but the point is that he's making more of what he wasn't before, even against lower to mid-table sides. And even though it's Spurs, they are performing, and they are truly this season a bottom of the table side.
Yeah, and probably if I ever met Gyökeres, I would probably tell him to take more chances. Just him as a striker.
Yeah,
then
but he also has to get more chances as well.
That's another thing.
It is a two-way thing, and he doesn't always make the most of his chances, but they've got to get him the ball more. The law of averages suggests you'll score more goals if you take more chances, and that's it.
That's what I've always been saying, and I know a lot of people want to give me this crap about the Premier League don't allow spaces. I'm like, what do you mean by that? This is football. You create spaces. It's not like a league will allow you. Yes, now you can say, they in Liga or whatever, there's not as much pressure, but pressure doesn't equal spaces. In fact, for me, I even think the Premier League gives you a lot of spaces. It's just that there's a lot more pressure, meaning you can't have the ball for too long. It's a 1-2 touch league. So if you have in a 1-2 touch league, you're supposed to be fast. Now, I will say this actually. I think Arsenal has the potential with the player they have to change actually the whole system and play like a Liverpool of 2019. And I'll tell you what, they have the players, they have the athleticism, they have people that can do 90 minutes without whatsoever being tired.
Yeah.
They have forward minded. They can press. They can pressure. The defense is good. In fact, I think if they want to, after this year, if they want to maintain this 2 or 3 years, I think with the effective they have, if they change that mentality to apply that, what I'm talking about, they will get more out of the team.
I agree. And it's always been confusing when, they want to play this slow, controlled game. Once they get to the final third, they have no problem knocking the ball around in the middle of the park. And if you have a defense that's that skilled and that stingy at the back, and you've got a midfield that is able to move the ball wherever you want, why are you so concerned about being countered on the opposite side of the pitch? You need to take control and understand the fact that, if there's going to be one player on the field that can make mistakes with possession, it's your center forward. You take care of the ball all the way to give him that chance. If you turn the ball over in the opponent's box, you, with your back line, you should be able to remedy any counter that you see. Just adjust the back formation. Once the ball is making its way up, have them coast back a little bit more to relieve that pressure. But you should not be so scared of turning the ball over in the 6-yard box with your center forward at the like with his foot on the ball. You just can't do it.
The pressure is on their side now, but a 5-point lead, it's not bad, but meaning you gotta win the rest of the games. Because City's pounding.
Yeah,
and they're knocking.
Brentford, the Brentford tie was one thing.
Yeah,
it makes not that it makes sense if you're making a reasonable bid for the title, you should not be dropping those points. Although no team is perfect, and it's expected that you're going to drop odd points here and there. But the campaign's designed for you to drop points from the bigger sides away from home. That's where your points are usually dropped. But you can excuse Brentford because they are an energetic side. They are a good team as well, and they're working very well with very little. The Wolves draw is unforgivable. Definitely. Those are the ones that you can go, if you don't win the title, you look at 1 or 2 games in that season, and that's going to be one of them, without a doubt. For anyone, not even just this Arsenal side, in this particular league structure, the 20th spot at this point in the league where the relegation battle is over for them, there's no battle for them, they're done. No team making a legitimate bid for the title, regardless of their tactics, their injury list, whatever it is, you should not be drawing with that side. I don't care what decade, what era, whatever it is, it's inexcusable.